Part 2. Right, and then this thing is happening this week too. So Kestrel got released last week in the patch, right? And there's a lot of feelings towards Kestrel right now. But Take Flight event is gonna start on Friday. That's gonna be her event campaign. So they did give us a favorable way of unlocking Kestrel, but I think a lot of the conversation was really about the fact that she's dumb OP. She's very good, right? She's a very good character, and they released back-to-back sensational characters that you feel like you have to get, right? Silver Surfer and now Kestrel. What are your thoughts, man? Do you think that she's just way too good? And what exactly is your issue with why she's so good, I guess?
Like, if Kestrel had come out at the beginning of the game, we would be like, wow, she's strong.
Yeah.
And then if they had reverse designed half of the characters they ended up designing, we'd be like, whatever. Like, oh, wow, Kestrel just exists. Yeah. So I don't think overpowered, yes. But that word doesn't mean what I think a lot of people means. I think a lot of people think overpowered means like the strongest character. Like, no, it just means that she does way more than what 45 shard free unlock that nobody's ever heard of because you're introducing the game to it should do. She has a legendary powered kit.
Yeah.
That is a kit that you see reserved for legendaries or like incredibly unique milestone or dark dimension characters. And she's too easy to get, so she kind of throws she's not a meta breaker. She it's like flipping the board of a chess game. Yep. You're just like, whatever, do whatever you want now, guys, because we think about it from end game perspective all the time because that's where we are.
Yep.
But from early game perspective now, anyone who gets Kestrel just they completely eradicate the value of most of the things you can do for arena or for war going forward. It completely throws early game arena shards off.
Yeah.
Like early game arena shards are usually it's like, but just until I get, a Phoenix, or just until I get Ultron, or just until I get it, and Kestrel shows up and it's like, no, dude, you got a 45 shard character at gear tier 10 and now you can't do anything. So she's strong. She's almost a well-designed character. She's a little bit pushed is the word we use in design. Like when they're like, we want this character to be great.
Yeah.
But the downside, the reason I have a problem with her is this, that she creates she's a very dangerous precedent because consumer confidence is a thing. So you could buy Kestrel and then what if next month they release a character that says on spawn, remove all charges?
Right.
And now that's something they can do.
Right.
Like remove all on spawn, remove all charges. Or steal all charges.
Yeah.
That's rogue. Steal all charges from the opponent team on spawn. And then you're like, wait, what just happened? And then now you have one character that counters, one character that counters, one character that counters, 5 characters that count. You know what I mean? At that point, it's like you stop building. This game is not about individual characters. This game's about teams. Right? That's Marvel team building. Strike Force, not Strike Dude. So I don't know. That's my 2 cents on Kestrel. Whatever.
No, and I agree with it. I do think that to a certain extent, I'll be honest. Did a lot of us overreact to it? Yes, but not by much, as people would think. Like, we didn't overreact.
The hype was real.
The hype was 100% real. What my issue is that this was the only way that they were going to get this character to sell, right? This original character that they were creating that nobody knows about, they were only going to be able to sell this character if they made her as good as she is. And you can obviously see that was part of their marketing ploy. Is she very good? Yes. Is she top 10? Yeah, you could probably put her in the top 10.
Maybe number 10, and that's being very generous.
Yeah, but in terms of in the way that you look at the game, yeah, she is impactful and she beats other characters, but this game is so much more about which character can beat another character. There's raids, there's other things that you got to do in this game. My concern is if they start putting a character like this into Dark Dimension 5, right? That eliminates Hela as an option.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like. It eliminates Phoenix as an option. Sinister, not so much. Sinister actually still has value, but Sinister as an option if you have to go against her in those nodes. That I don't like. That is the portion of it that I don't like. And
it's a poorly designed character.
It is.
That's it.
It affects.
It's from a gameplay and game design perspective. It's like, why not just make a character do infinite damage on spawn?
Yeah.
You want it that's the old joke, extra strength, like what's maximum strength Tylenol, find out how much it'll kill you and then back it down a notch. Like that's what they did with her. They're like, what's the most dumb thing we can do? Okay, we'll take one step back. So her ult will prevent you from rezzing, and then you can't spawn, but you can't spawn clones or anything until she takes her first turn. Sure, yep. It's every aspect of this design is like, they went to Reddit, they saw all the dumb, like, what if their ult did 4 trillion damage? And they're like, yeah, this looks great, let's do it. It's very poor design, and it leads to bad consumer confidence going forward with other characters.
Yeah, it does. But I will say this though, to a certain extent, she is good for certain things, right? Certain players. Doom raids, phenomenal. Even right now in beta raids, she's both tech and she's also skill. Those are the hardest nodes in beta raids, if you're doing difficulty 2 and 3, right? So if you're not doing that, then you probably don't care. But, she has a lot of really good value in raids. And I mean, if you use her with certain other teams, if you're missing a 5th character, she is a good plug-in character for some of those teams. So, I mean, she does bring value to the game. But yeah, I think she's a little bit... Yeah, design heavy, not necessarily great. But let me know your thoughts, guys. Now, the next team that I wanted to talk about here was Heroes for Hire. So they got a rework. And this is another team that looks a little too... I feel like they're slightly overhyped. And I'll talk about it why. I'll let you know why in a little bit. But what are your thoughts on Heroes for Hire? I want to hear your thoughts first.
They look like a really awesome designed war defense team.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't make me care about war defense teams any more or less, because whatever. I don't think that Colleen Wing is the skill character everyone's been looking at, but that's only because I have 2 eyes and the ability to understand what I read.
Yeah.
And the same thing, I think Misty Knight's actually the best character on that team.
100%.
Inside and outside, for many reasons. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, rework's good. It's a good defense. They're probably missing a character, wink.
Yep.
There's maybe somebody coming. I don't know, but to me, honest, I got an itch, and that itch is scratching. It's I don't know, man. I feel like I want these guys at 5-star. I have no reason to believe that. Yeah. I feel like I want this team at 5-star, so I'm buying in. If I'm wrong, they got me.
There's a very strong inkling just based on this down here that there's something going on. There's a strong inkling on that, and you guys can probably pick up what we're putting down here. But
people tell me all the time, there's only 4 of them. Yeah. I'm like, wow, I can count too, stupid. But I'm not saying I'm right. I'm saying I'm buying them on the off chance that my suspicion is correct. I'm not trying to prove you to buy it. You do whatever you want.
Exactly. Yeah,
but you wouldn't be able to stop me from buying Misty Knight. If on your best day, you couldn't stop me from spending money on it.
She, in my opinion, is, if we're talking about just pure design, right?
She's gorgeous. She's not
really good.
Not hot gorgeous. She has a gold arm. That jumpsuit's dope.
Yeah.
They paid more attention to her afro than they paid to the last 3 characters. Anything. She's got the coolest eyeshadow.
Yeah.
Someone went over that. Yeah. It was no. She's awesome.
She's good.
And then we look at her kit, and it's wait, what?
Her kit is really good, man.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Even outside of war defense, I'm like, this is... No, you can use this.
She's really good.
You can use this, obviously.
It's just weird that she has a metal arm and isn't a mutant.
Well, I didn't want any more mutants, so thank goodness. Thank you. Nobody needed any of that.
Cable.
But she's definitely dope, man. I like her a lot. Her kit is really strong. I do think that a lot of people are like saying, well, I mean, we talked about it in the Envoy videos, right? That this team is supposed to essentially be kind of like a wall on war defense. I do think
Fantastic Four beats them.
I do think a team with Silver Surfer beats them. I mean, it's really not.
Fantastic Four just beats them. You can see everything. You don't have to wait for it to happen. You see their kits.
Yeah.
You see their stats. You know what their speeds are. And again, I'm not talking about like in a punch up or anything, but the tools to beat this team exist in the game.
100%.
Whether you could beat this team.
Everything
without going nuts. Like, you don't have to break apart like 15 teams. I'm actually pretty sure the Inhumans can beat this team. You might have to use Inhumans and Surfer, but I don't know.
Yeah, everything for me is based on the charge mechanic, right? If you can get the charges go bye-bye, then you can deal, then their resistance goes down. Then they don't have deflect. I mean, but we'll talk about that in a different. that's not. But they are cool. One of the questions I wanted to ask you, because I've been hearing this asked me, a couple people have been asking me this question: does this put Iron Fist and Luke Cage back into the beginner meta?
In the same way that the Wave, the problem is the Defenders are still not as good as the Wave 1 Avengers.
Yep.
Right? So like the Wave 1 Avengers are a team at the beginning of the game, and then they split off. Right? Thor goes to the Asgardians, Iron Man goes to the Power Armor. You get to decide when you do that, no big deal. The Defenders are a little bit better synergy, but the problem is their split offs are like impossible.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so say you build the Defenders first. Well, how fast into Endgame can you build a Shadowlands? We don't know yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We don't know. We don't know when White Tiger and Moon Knight are going to be farmable or how they're going to be farmable. So we don't know. When are Colleen Wing and Misty Knight? We don't know. Mm-hmm. So because there's so many unknowns, like, no, if you were starting today and you're like, I'm going to go with Defenders, like, it's a pretty okay, safe bet, right? That eventually by the time you know, a year or two, because that's how long this game takes to catch up.
It really does, yeah.
You would be at a point where you'd be able to access all these characters. But the question is, do they matter? Will they matter then? So right now, Shadowlands is it's not the best war offense team, but it's the second best war offense team by like a mile. Like the first best is the best, and then it's Shadowlands, and then right next to Shadowlands is like X-Force. And then there's like Brotherhood and everything else. Yeah. So the Shadowlands team is the best war, but like how long are they going to be the best war? You know, like, so you could be like, I'm going to start with this team and then I'll move into Shadowlands later. But by that time, the Shadowlands is just like an okay war team.
Right.
You can't control it. So no, I don't think so. I think Wave 1 Avengers is still the best way to start in the game.
Yeah, agreed. So that was, I'm not even going to add to that. I completely agree. I don't think that they're part of the beginner meta. I think that they're good. I think you can find individual usage out of Iron Fist because he does heal pretty well. Also, to a certain extent, I think Iron Fist hurts this team a little bit, but I'm not going to dive into that. The idea of him being able to potentially keep them higher than 50% health actually kind of hurts some of their charge mechanics. But like I said, we'll talk about, that's a different video. We'll talk about it for later.